like the conversation we were having afterwards, and I think she was photogging something else. I'm like, you getting any good pictures tonight? She's like, I got some great ones of you guys. I'm like, okay, cool. How do we find you? And you guys already follow me. I'm like, oh shit. Foot in mouth. Activate. Boom.
Stupid whiskey.
Stupid whiskey. Speaking of whiskey, we got ourselves a fantastic hard sought for most folks offering from Barrell Craft Spirits, the Gray Label Seagrass. And I'm definitely looking forward to this. It's something a lot of people talk about, but very few actually have. And Mr. W2, Mr. Allocation Hands W2 got himself a bottle of it, and we're definitely going to try this out. You've been sitting on this one not as long as the other Seagrass bottle, right?
Yeah, not quite as long, but
still quite a while.
Yeah,
quite a while. You've been waiting to bring this to the podcast.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
What do you say we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Welcome, dear listener, to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Across the table from me is Mr. Allocation Hands W2. How do you do?
How do I do?
He
doing great.
He doing all right. He doing all right. How you doing? He doing all right. So today we're going to talk about the Gray Label Seagrass brought to us by Barrell Craft Spirits. It's aged 16 years. Bottle number 1632. And what is that alcohol per volume?
The proof is 133.34.
So what does that mean in alcohol?
That means it's 66.67.
Devil, die. So we're going to have ourselves a good time with this one. I can feel it. I can feel it pouring in the dram tonight. Where's Mike Tyson when you need him? Anyway, so other than that, what can you tell me about this?
This is one I'm very excited for my anniversary this last fall. Mm-hmm. My lovely wife.
Lovely.
Knowing that I really wanted to step up and above my norm price point.
Yeah, you said usually you stick around $40, $50, $60,
40,
something like
60. That. You know, I've gone 70, 80.
Yeah.
You know, the Angel's Envy Maple Cask Rye
so good.
Was like an $84 bottle.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Every time.
Absolutely. But, you know, those are one-off kind of bottles or whatever, and so
it's not the norm.
She gave me a gift card to Flavier, and so I was like, "Sweet, I got a gift card. I'm gonna get something, you know, a little bit higher dollar than what I normally spend."
So you took the gift card amount and used that as your base.
My first thought was, you know, sweet, I've got myself a good base to get myself something a little bit fancier.
Okay.
But then as I kind of marinated on that a little bit and thought that through, I'm like, what if I took what I would normally spend on a good bottle of bourbon, whiskey, and add that to the gift card, and now I've nearly doubled what I would spend. And so I went on the hunt on, well, what should I get? And so I went through and did lots and lots of searches or whatever. I already had the regular Barrell Seagrass on the shelf waiting to try that, and I stumbled upon their Gray Label, which is their 16-year rye. The MSRP on that is $250, and I found it on Flavier for, I think it was $164, so with tax it was like $172. Today, as of today, the day we're recording this, that price on Flavier has gone up to $189, which is still less than MSRP.
Yeah.
I was up at in Bubbles liquor store up in Parkville, And in their allocation room, they actually had a couple of these sitting on the shelf, and they wanted $280 for them.
They can have them.
So
Nothing against bubbles, but they can have them.
Right.
There's other things that I enjoy that cost a lot less.
Yep.
And that's all right.
And actually, now that I think about it, I think that they were like on sale for like $200 or $225, but then they had written next to it regular price $280.
Normally. Okay.
It's like, okay. But so this is Barrell Craft Spirits Gray Label Seagrass 16-year old rye whiskey. It is aged 16 years. The finish is in Martinique rum and Madeira and apricot brandy barrels, just like the regular Seagrass.
Yeah.
This is 133.34 proof, which, as stated, makes the ABV 66.67%.
We're going to ignore the 7 and just relish in the devil.
Just going to round down a little bit.
Round down.
666.
Mark of the beast.
So, what makes this one interesting? So, the regular Seagrass, Barrell Craft Spirits, they procure orphan barrels all over the place.
And thank goodness they do it.
Yeah.
There are others that do it too, but thank goodness somebody's doing that.
They have operations in Kentucky. They have operations in Canada. Their regular Seagrass is blended of Kentucky rye barrels. Mm-hmm. This 16-year rye is actually blended from 2 different groups of 16-year-old 100% Canadian rye barrels. So for whatever reason, for this particular offering with the 16-year age statement, it's actually blended from 2 different sets of 16-year Canadian rye barrels. It says here, one packed with bright citrus and crisp green apple notes, the other with earthy spearmint flavors. The first liquid was finished in apricot brandy, while the other was rested in Martinique rum. The 2 groups were blended, and then the blend was finally finished in Malmsey Madeira barrels.
Malmsey?
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 Was finally finished in Madeira barrels.
Yeah.
Quite the journey, right? The result is deeply mature with grassy aromas, while the oily palate is nutty and Madeira forward, packed with bright and tropical fruits.
Well, that's quite a bit. I'm gonna pull on the nose here and see what I can come up with. First, give it a little swish around the glass. It's got kind of a deep gold.
See what Satan has to say.
Let's see what Satan has to say. A light amber, but more or less just a deep gold color to it. It looks like it's shining under the lights here in the Savor of the Burn Studios. And it looks like it's got legs. Yeah, I'm pulling the grassy notes. Mm-hmm. I hardly ever pick that up, and this is like right off the top, grassy notes.
That ethanol burn that we got on the nose and palate on the original Seagrass.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it on the nose as much on this one.
I'm catching it on the nose that recently opened.
Maybe we fried our nostrils.
Right. So the one that was open is fried, and the one that just opened is just like, ouch! But I guess that's why we nose with our mouth open as well, pulling in with the mouth, which is a nosing technique, dear listener. When it comes to smelling what it is that you're trying to taste, if it's a higher proof whiskey and it's kind of burning your nose, open your mouth and also breathe in through your mouth at the same time. And that'll help bring the smell through your nose into your mouth and straight in to your mouth anyway, and it'll get everywhere, and you'll be able to taste a lot more without that awful stinging feeling in your nose. So yeah, it's grassy notes. It's honey.
Is there light coffee on there?
I'm not sure. I'm picking up on honeysuckle, maybe jasmine.
I'm getting
it's floral
again.
It's floral. To me, it's floral. I wasn't expecting floral, especially with a rye.
I so much want to get this on the nose, but I don't know if I am. But the tasting notes say grilled cornbread.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't even look at the notes over here. You got exotic spices, rye toast, grilled cornbread, tobacco, coffee. You called coffee and cinnamon.
Have you ever had grilled cornbread?
I have not. I've had cornbread, but I've never thrown it on the grill.
How do you make your cornbread?
I have a cast iron skillet.
Okay.
I cook it in that. Anytime before that, it was just in like a little, 8-inch circle, cake pan. I would cook it in a cake pan.
What I'm getting at, though, is every time I make cornbread, I have to have at least a half a can of sweet corn
Oh, okay.
put into the batter.
Oh my God. I just Googled grilled cornbread and look at the first thing that came up.
Oh, wow.
Grilled cornbread with jalapeno honey butter. Woo! I just got fatter reading that. Shnikes. It's a little Velma from the Mystery Machine, Scooby-Doo. So, what do you say we get some of this on the palate?
Let's do it.
Cheers, sir. Holy shit.
I'm awake.
Yeah. Wow, the 666 comes through for sure. It immediately started burning my lips. My eyes are watering. But wow, there's a lot going on that finish. The grassy notes are there. There is a taste that I can't describe. It's like somewhere between Halloween Laffy Taffy and I don't know. Yeah, so much like with the original seagrass, the first thing you notice on the palate is the holy fuck, this burns. Mm-hmm. But that's the high proof speaking.
That's
it's
sweetness.
also the rye.
Like the other one, I still got a little bit of this. Not as intensely sweet, but I started with a sweet that immediately turned to Fireball, not the
cinnamon whiskey.
No,
but
like fire.
Yeah, actual fire.
Hot coals.
And hot coals. Not good. Hot. It said up here in the notes, the result, deeply mature with grassy aromas. The grassiness follows through on the, maybe not so much the palate, but definitely the finish. The oily palate is nutty and Madeira forward. I'm not too familiar with Madeira.
I'm not either.
So I wouldn't know what that is to pick up on that note, which maybe that's the undescribable part for me on the finish that I can't describe.
I'm getting a little bit of chocolate.
I'll have to taste it again. That burn is so abrasive. Only on the mouth, though. Like we said with the original offering, it doesn't go through the trachea, into your sternum, into your stomach, and just ruin you. It's only on the palate, only on the mouth. Mm-hmm. So that indescribable taste, the one that I can't put my finger on, somewhere between Laffy Taffy and something else, has got to be the Madeira wine. The Malmsey, whatever Madeira. It's got to be. The rum takes a back seat. The rum influence takes a back seat in this. There's the woody oakiness to it. There's a lot of that, seagrass or grassy kind of taste to it. Again, it's kind of a botanical thing. Lots of rye. The flavor of the rye is there,
rye.
Especially after the burn subsides.
Yeah.
I just realized my tongue's not working completely. That's weird, but that's weird, man. But after the rye subsides, you can really taste that rye spice. Tropical fruits, cocoa butter.
I'm getting a little bit of banana peel on that finish. A little bit of banana.
Uh-huh.
The notes say banana peel. I don't know what the difference between banana and banana peel
When I was a kid, I tried to smoke banana peels because I heard it could get you high, and it did not work for me. It got me and my cousins in a lot of trouble. You're doing what?
I bet you could light this shit on fire, and it would burn.
Yeah. In 133 proof, you could. I think it's got to be at least 100 proof and it'll burn.
Yep.
There's still, even though with that burn, there's still a lot to savor here. It is wonderfully complex in a somewhat surprising way. Again, it shouldn't be surprising because of the 3 barrels that this spirit has been aged in. Mm-hmm. But holy smokes. It's got a lot to offer.
Maybe this is after we do that first frost with the original seagrass,
you do a back-to-back for the cocktails on these guys. I don't see how it could lose because I think they would both be great candidates for cocktails. Even with the burn, there's plenty of stuff going on there on the nose. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately for me, with my limited experience, some of that's like really unidentifiable for me. Like I can't pinpoint what the smells are. And even on the taste, on the palate and on the finish, I can tell it's something tropical.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be durian or dragon fruit or banana peel, I couldn't tell you. But it does taste. It does have a tropical feel to it, and maybe that's where the rum cask influence is coming from.
Yeah, I was wondering too. That little bit of banana I was getting on the finish, is that maybe attributed to the rum cask? Because rum and banana flavoring very frequently go hand in hand.
Very well could be. You know, once you reach the finish, it's so, it can almost be distracting, the amount of stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way, in a very good way. It catches you off guard.
This is definitely a sipper.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna chug a lug this.
Yeah,
one.
you better watch Seinfeld while you're sipping this. So you don't really have a lot to think about. You can actually concentrate on the whiskey. Because Seinfeld's known for being a show about nothing. You got to have some kind of mindless activity that you're doing so you can pay a little bit more attention to this. Especially when your MSRP is 200 and what?
250.
250. You're going to want to pay attention to this.
One of the podcasts that I follow did a side-by-side comparison of the regular seagrass, this gray label seagrass, and then the gold label seagrass. And I don't know, I haven't had the gold label. That's a $500 bottle.
Right, but price aside, what is it about the gold label that makes it?
I don't remember the details
its own
of
thing.
it.
You don't? Okay.
I think it may be a 20-year versus 16.
Holy smokes.
But hands down, both these guys were all about the gold label version. And then their second pick was actually the original because of the heat that the 16-year brought. And part of me was like, of course you're going to love the $500 bottle. If I'm spending $500 on a bottle, I better love that. But, I guess it is what it is. It's $500 for a reason, maybe. But I do agree with you. The heat on this, to an extent, is a little bit distracting.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little bit to kind of work your way through it to be able to process everything else that's going on with it.
So in my notes here, I have written down at 66.6% ABV, we knew we had an experience ahead of us. Grassy notes throughout and a cornucopia of interesting flavors. This bottle deserves contemplation.
I like it.
I really don't know how else to say that. I mean, much like what Chandler says, I'm saying something. Mm-hmm. Or I'm not saying something, but I'm saying something.
Right.
I think with that, I'm saying something without saying something.
Yeah.
So it's the other side of that thick nickel that Chandler brought to us when he said that.
Seriously, I can't stop thinking about that.
Wow.
First frost.
All right.
And what it might taste like with this.
Yeah. I have no doubt that either one of these is going to make a fantastic cocktail. By itself, they're mysteriously complex.
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't tell by looking at this bottle. If this was the only thing that you saw, looking at this, you're like, okay, it's finished in 3 different kinds of barrels. That could be interesting.
To me, there's something that...
But 16 years to be like...
Right. Well,
holy shit.
And to that point, there is something extremely classy with their choice of gray,
mm-hmm.
a couple different shades of gray, and then gold lettering.
Yeah.
It screams class.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's suit and tie, cufflinks.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Off mic, we were commenting as we were pouring this up, but the regular Seagrass had a round medallion sticker on the bottle topper.
Yeah.
That had the bands that went down the sides of the neck,
mm-hmm.
all as kind of one sticker. This one, and the natural cork with a heavy hardwood topper on it.
Yeah,
This
on the
one-
original.
Yeah, this one is a black metal topper.
Solid metal.
Yeah, a solid
Not
metal
like a
piece.
screw-off cap.
Yeah, with a little bit of two milled bands around the edge. The logo is engraved on the top of it, and then still that sticker type strap going down the neck of it, but it is actually going through the cap of it. So
Which I've never seen before.
No, I mean there's a lot of detail in just the top on this thing.
Yeah.
And then you get down, the shape of the barrel label is pretty much the same on all their stuff. That's what one of the things, that and the bottle shape is what makes them very distinct look when you see that on the shelf.
Yeah.
But the dark kind of a gunmetal pewter platinum gray
Charcoal.
with black lettering and gold lettering on it just has a classy look to it. And then that goes inside of a very heavy weight what kind of a box do you call this? Is that clamshell where it slides inside of the other piece
I don't know.
of it. But the bottom of it that holds the bottle, it's not a black. It's a dark charcoal matte finish.
Yeah.
With then gloss black lettering on the outside of the box. But then you pull the top of it.
And the only thing that's a different color is the S and the seagrass.
Yes.
And that's
which
gold.
is in gold. And then you open it up, and the inside of the
Yeah, it's got a gold
box
liner.
is the liner's gold in there with
Or like a
the
mustard
barrel
yellow, I
logo
guess.
done in that gloss black right on there. And then up inside the top portion of the box has a little piece to hold the neck in place so that
Yeah.
it doesn't wobble around.
For storage and transportation.
Yep. And if it slides out of your hand and almost hits the floor, but
Yeah.
you put your foot out just in time to catch it, it'll save it. And it is a heavy glass bottle, so
Yeah. It has the potential to slide right out the bottom of that box. Which is
not that I'm
probably
speaking from experience, but
which you are. We
Which
both
I
know you
am.
are. Don't even front. No cap, son. But yeah, you're speaking from experience, and I don't know. I would call that a design flaw because that could be so tragic, so fast.
that is a high dollar bottle that
Is so willing to fly out of the bottom of the box. It's like, no, let me. Whee! But yeah.
But yeah, great presentation.
Great presentation. And we'll get to that. But first, let's get to the nose. What did you give it on the nose?
I gave it a 4.
A 4? I gave it a 3.5.
Okay.
What is wrong with us? These past few episodes, it's been nothing but me, lowballing your score instead of vice versa. How about the palate?
3 3/4.
You know what? We just met.
All right.
Number for number. I don't know if that's a goal. I think it's interesting when we match, but it's not something I strive to. What is Wayne gonna say? That's not what I try to do. How about the finish?
We're the sine and cosines. We're crossing at those peak moments. What did you say? Finish?
Yeah, finish. Where you at on the finish?
Solid 4.
You're not gonna believe this. That's what I put.
No.
How about the bottle presentation?
So on the regular Seagrass, I gave that a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
I could have very easily gone even higher with this, but I gave it a 4.
I did go higher. I gave it a 4 3/4. I'm impressed by this. I'm not wowed, but I'm impressed / very impressed with how simple it looks. That's something that Chandler really loves, the simplicity. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this is. This is a suit and tie. This is tuxedo. This is
100% tuxedo. Yeah.
This is simple and
I'm wearing a bow tie
done.
to drink this whiskey.
I don't know. Never trust a man in a bow tie. Something in my whiskey tango DNA says don't do it. Don't do it. They're coming to take your land. All right. So bottle presentation, you gave it a 4. 4.0. How about overall? What did all your scores end up being?
7 7/8. 7.875.
Mine was a 8. 8 even.
Nice.
Solid 8. Yeah. Even with the expectedly unexpected overpowering burn on the palate, I see the potential in it.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm familiar with higher proof whiskeys such as this one, and I knew what to expect in the way that it was going to be hot.
I feel like
I just know that it will absolutely shine by itself as a pull and a dram.
So we've talked about
as much as it will shine in a cocktail. We
have talked about 100 proof and higher whiskeys are the way to go for cocktails, so that the cocktail can overcome the other ingredients and still be the center stage.
Yeah.
The great thing about something like this, you know what we didn't do?
We didn't hit it with a couple drops of water.
We didn't hit it with a couple drops of water, which could have opened, because especially your higher proofed whiskeys, adding a little bit of water to it can be a game changer.
Especially with that fresh limestone water that your sister got us from where?
Kentucky.
I
forget.
Did she buy it at a distillery?
Yeah, it was one of the distilleries. It's behind you.
I'll grab it real quick.
But where I'm going with this is, this one has so much extra proof that, one, it's not going to have any problem whatsoever shining in whatever cocktail that you've made.
Yeah.
But, like we've seen before, especially if you use a lower proofed whiskey, your syrups, your sweeteners, even your citrus can very quickly overcome a lot, if not all, of the flavor profile of your whiskey.
Yeah.
This has so much proof in there. You can load that thing up with whatever syrups and citrus you want.
That's just the proof. But the flavors in this thing, we've already discussed. It's got the rum influence, and rum is all about sugar, white sugar and brown sugar, especially white sugar, I think. So
it's definitely going to have to be the right cocktail.
I think it would have to be the right sweetener. The right cocktail with the right sweetener, or the right cocktail modified with the right sweetener. Because if you go throwing honey in this, I don't think it would work as well as maple, and I don't think maple would work as well as white sugar. Which white sugar is probably my least favorite.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to use a sweetener on this, it'd have to be something that was involved in the creation of at least one of the spirits on this.
I would agree.
I don't know, but that's just my thoughts on it. So as you spend time with this over the week, and you throw a couple drops of water in your dram with the in your whiskey glass with this, and with the original Barrell Craft Spirits Seagrass, give it some hard consideration as far as like when you throw the couple drops of water in there, see what happens, because it's only going to be magnified when water hits it, and you shake it for 30 seconds trying to get the froth out of the egg for that first froth, first frost. I don't know why I said first froth with a lip. Froth.
I mean, it's frothy.
It's frothy. Yeah, first froth. It sounds like you've been, eating macaroni and cheese all day, and your pee, you just went in there and you dropped a froth. So I've said my piece on this. Do you have any final thoughts on this? Barrell Craft Spirits Seagrass Gray Label.
I am very pleased that we got the opportunity to try this out.
I am too. Much like you say with just about everything else, I like it. I mean, I'd have to. Coming in at a solid 8, and you coming in at 8 7/8.
It is definitely not a daily drinker.
No.
But this is a fantastic special occasion.
Yeah, with people who seek high rye,
Yeah.
high proof whiskeys.
And can hang with a 666.
Right. I don't know.
6.6.
I mean, you could share this with your average, metalhead devil guy, or your average, Christian rock, Mercy Me guy. You can anybody can enjoy this. I don't care what your religion is, unless
True.
your religion excludes alcohol, which I know some do, which is unfortunate. But still, I think this could be shared and enjoyed by good people, good friends, good family, if you have such a thing. Good stuff. That's if you could sum this bottle down to 2 words, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. That's what this is. So, dear listener, if you stuck with us this long, thank you for listening to the Savor the Burn podcast. Keep checking out savortheburn.com for all the updates that Mr. Allocation Hands W2 has been steadfastly updating consistently, constantly, always on the ball. Definitely check out savortheburn.com/shop, or just, click the drop down menu and click shop and see what all the stuff that we have in there, including but not limited to drinking accessories and cocktail kits and t-shirts and Flavier membership deals, and just everything that we got going on in there. Oh, the dried citrus. We haven't talked about that in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe no, First Frost wouldn't do good with dried citrus. All right, back to it. Sorry, I got distracted. Shiny keys. Send us a message, info@savortheburn.com. Send me a message, Jonathan@savortheburn.com. Send Mr. Allocation Hands W2@savortheburn.com. Give us a message. Tell us if we're missing out on something, if we've been sleeping on your favorite whiskey and you really want us to hear, or you really want to hear what we have to say about it. Send us an email to any of those 3, and we'll definitely check it out. And no matter who you are, who you're emailing, who you're Facebooking with, and whatever you're arguing about, whether it be politically or religiously or professional wrestlingly, always remember to keep on burning. That was a little different outro.